It's the movie that has had thousands of parents cancelling their Netflix accounts. It's outraged mums and dads of young children everywhere. And be warned, your own kids might have watched it. It's called Cuties, and it tells the story of an 11-year-old girl called Amy who joins a free-spirited dance crew called the Cuties to rebel against what she perceives as her Muslim family's oppressive traditions. Now, in the movie, the girls perform highly sexualised dance routines, and the camera shots focus on their crotch areas. It's pretty graphic. Here's a little trailer. So there you are, you're getting just a flavour of it there. Some of the dance scenes are quite explicit. The film's director says the film is a bold feminist move, but others say it's just fodder for paedophiles. Denise, what do you think?
To be perfectly honest, Kay, normally when I get sent something to watch for the show, I do. And I got sent this last night and I watched the trailer, and I just, with everything going on in life, I just couldn't cope with watching a film called Cuties about child sexual exploitation. I've read the reviews, and the reviews do paint a different picture to what the Twitter sphere has said about it. So I do understand there is more to the movie, but for me, I think that it's just it's something that I don't feel the need to watch. I know what goes on in the world with that. And I do think that it's just going to give an opportunity, especially called Cuties. It's not for me.
It's interesting, though, Denise, because there has been an awful lot of outrage about this film, and people have been cancelling their subscriptions in their droves. But how many of those people have actually watched the film? For a whole variety of reasons, you know. There is this kind of immediate indignation. You have watched it, Nadia, haven't you? You've watched the full thing.
Yeah, I watched all of it.
Were you outraged by it?
Because I think a lot of people have just watched the trailer or have just seen the poster, and we're in a world now where we can't seem to debate anything. I actually found it a really, really powerful film. It's interesting in your link there when you said, be warned, your children may have already watched it. I didn't see anything in those dances that I haven't seen in Cardi B, that I haven't seen on TikTok, that I haven't seen anywhere else. And I think it's a really important film because it brings up a really good discussion. I think all the children in this, what struck me about them was that they were all confused and they were all unhappy, and they were all trying to break free of something, whether we were looking at the Muslim child who's extremely repressed, or the children that were sexualised. They didn't realise they were sexualised, they were just dancing. I think it's a really important film.
I wonder if some of the outrage is down to the fact that it holds a mirror up to ourselves. Because what do children do? They mimic their parents and older people in society. So this is the world that we have created, and I'm amazed at the outrage to a certain extent. I mean, when my kids were smaller, they were obsessed with a documentary series called Dance Mums, which was the real-life version of a young, you know, girls' sort of dance club, and I hated them watching it. And I would sit there.
They weren't doing those type of dances, Kay, in Dance Mums.
Sorry,
there was ballet, there was ballet, there was contemporary. It was about dance competitions. I never saw any dances that were offensive or like that in Dance
Well, maybe
Mums.
You didn't watch as much as I did, Denise, to be honest.
Well,
because
I did. I was obsessed with it.
Yes, there was lots of stuff, but there was also highly sexualised stuff, because that is the world that we have created.
But look at Cardi B. We were talking about that last week on the show, and it was a Cardi B dance.
Yeah.
I mean, most pop video, there was nothing more shocking to me than I would see in a pop video.
Yeah, and the name of that song is WAP, and I am not allowed to say that on television because it is deemed too offensive, and yet our children will be very familiar with it and will be singing. I mean, Brenda, you kind of empathise with the central character, didn't you?
I didn't take offence to it. I thought it was a very positive thing because it kind of echoes my life in certain ways. I was raised very strict Pentecostal upbringing. I've said that before, and it was, you know, one of the girls, Amy, you know, she was living this strict upbringing where she had to cook, she's cleaning, she was looking after her younger brother while the mother was out working and everything. And I think it was more a case of, I saw it as her trying to fit in to not feel so ostracised. She wanted to be part of a group.
Is that how you felt when you were growing up?
Well, that's how I felt, but it was sheltered. You know, I went to church 9 days a week. That was what it was. And so when I finally, I think I was 18 when I left home, but up until that point, it was a very strict upbringing. You come home straight from school, you do this, you don't go out, you don't do this, you don't wear skirts past that are above the knee. couldn't wear trousers because that shows your shape, no jewellery because that's idolising. You know, there was so many different things.
I remember you saying to me once that you, even when you had your period, you didn't realise it was your period.
Yeah, I totally related when she had her period and she didn't know what was going on. And then the elder was saying, now you're a woman. Well, that's going to be helpful. What does that actually mean?
Yeah.
But I went through that. I came on my period at school and I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was bleeding to death. And it's still... I still didn't have that conversation when I went home.
And then you're thrown out into adulthood.
Exactly. And then...
Yeah.
And here we go. Here I am, grown up and not knowing.
We do have just a short comment from Netflix. It says, Cuties is a social commentary against the sexualisation of young children. It's a powerful story about the pressure young girls face on social media and from society more generally growing up. And we'd encourage anyone who cares about these important issues to watch the movie. Well, if you want to watch it, you'll make up your own mind.